mentioned it, and that's a program, it's a system that's available for all faculty, whether they're adjunct or full-time. So they have a system where they go in and they have access to their roster, so they can select students from that roster and refer them to me or the early alert advisor. So what happens is if the instructor is concerned about a student, maybe they're not doing well on exams, maybe they're not showing up to class, they notice a difference in the student where they were very upbeat and now there seems to be something, maybe possibly happening, or they share with that instructor, possibly a death in the family or personal issues. They can refer them to a counselor and the advisor. So we meet with them, we get that referral, and it's an email that we receive, myself and the advisor, and the student receives that referral email, so they know they have been referred to early alert. So we contact them, schedule an appointment, meet with them, and focus on those areas of concern that the instructor indicated on that referral. And the instructor also has an opportunity to kind of explain a little bit, maybe to the student, I noticed that, you have a D in my class, or you're not showing up to class. And they can also put a comment to me and the advisor indicating, I'm aware that this is occurring to the student, could you please meet with them? So we go ahead and meet with them. After that is a second appointment. After we meet with them for that first time and focus on those areas of concern. We meet with them if they haven't completed an education plan, if they have not been doing well academically. We meet with them, make sure that we do things that need to be done, and continue that conversation and build that rapport with them. Again, discuss majors, where are you planning to transfer? And my question to them in terms of majors, and it came to mind right now that Yolanda was speaking, one of the questions was, what do we do if they say, I'm interested in games, or I like to play games? When they're so undecided about a major. And so now they have met with the advisor again, we discussed those areas of concern. Now I'm moving on with them, second appointment, to complete that ed plan, but they're still very unsure about what they want to accomplish. And maybe in the meantime, they are focusing on those general education classes such as English and math, but now it's going to come to the point that we need to decide on a major and start thinking about, what schools are you interested in, and what schools have the degree that you're interested in, but if they have no idea, how do we get there? So sometimes I'll share, they might say, I'm not sure, I have this interest and that interest. Sometimes they're completely opposite interests. So, it might be administration of justice, and then they're interested in computers. So it's, okay, well, completely different. So sometimes I'll tell the student, so Maria, if I told you today, we're gonna pay for your entire education, you don't have to worry about anything in terms of paying for your education, and you would have to decide right now, what major would you say you're interested in? And they just kind of sit there and say, oh, I think I want to go into education. Then they narrow it down. So it gives us a start point. And again, it's building that relationship with the instructors, the student, a counselor, advisor. And again, we go to each other for questions. Yeah, did you know this? Did you know this change occurred? And there's a lot of change occurring. And within that change is, again, providing the information to our students and make sure that they're moving forward with their goals, and the end goal is that they accomplish that goal, and if their goal is to continue, then they do. But then we're constantly giving them that information, and a lot of times students don't seek that help. And there's a lot of services on campus and in our community that they can receive, but sometimes they just don't take that step. So that referral is so helpful sometimes, because that can make a difference. And sometimes they have met with a counselor, sometimes they haven't, sometimes they are taking classes they shouldn't be taking because they didn't see someone. So a friend told them, take this class with me, or this is a good instructor, but they might be taking the wrong classes. There's a lot that we cover as counselors when they come in, and again, we're the ones that will refer them to other services, whether it's on campus or off. So I think we can be more proud, and I think we mentioned with each other that we have a really good team, and I think we work very well together, and we have the same goal, and that's our students. So thank you, and thank you to our presenters again.
Thank
And
you.
we have refreshments.